One of the things that I really love about this time of year is that I feel like every single thing that you get from the garden is just a little bit extra. Like, you're pushing the boundaries as you get closer and closer to that first frost date, hoping that the things that you've planted will actually grow, that they'll be able to flourish despite the fact that it's getting colder. Here in the northwest of England, it's actually been pretty mild over the last couple of weeks. It has just rained pretty much, well, continually for about 10 days. But actually it has meant that in some parts of the garden I'm really starting to see some great things. So we're going to go and have a quick look at the bed that I like my risk bed, I guess, that I planted with the squash and the beans in it. And I have to say, I'm so surprised by what I found, in particular the beans, which are in fact still flowering even now. But I didn't think that I'd really get any decent sized pods off them, and I am starting to see some of those. And the you cheeky curry squash that I planted out super late in the season has absolutely flourished. I'm so surprised, to be honest. It isn't dying back yet, but it will do, and hopefully, well, not hopefully, but it will do in the next couple of weeks, probably in the next 4 weeks or so. As it starts to get cold, its leaves will die, and those squashes will have a chance to finish ripening, and I can leave the skins to get hard before I pick them. So let's go have a quick look. So there we have it. I've actually got some runner beans. I'm so surprised, to be honest, and they really are actually getting pretty big too. I think I just kind of put these in thinking that nothing really would happen with them, but it's looking really, really good. And you can see that the plant is still flowering, although I think it's really unlikely that I'm going to get beans off all of these flowers up here. It really is a bit late in the season for that. If you remember, one of the reasons I wanted to grow them was for drying, not for eating fresh, because I actually don't really like fresh runner beans, but I very much like the beans inside them. And I don't think I'm going to be able to dry them on the plant outside. I've got, I think, maybe 2 days of good weather followed by quite a lot of rain again. So it's quite likely that I'm going to end up just pulling them out on the sticks and popping them in the garage to dry off eventually, but we'll just have to see how it goes. Down here in the squash patch, we have quite a few squash actually. I don't know if you can see, this little one here is starting to get a little bit darker. Yeah, I'm really happy actually. I haven't got loads. I think I'll probably end up with 3 or 4. There's a few more over there. But yeah, actually really, really happy with them. And I do really like you cheeky curry squash, so that obviously is a very big plus point. The mustard that I planted in this bed has started to sprout, so that's pretty good. Maybe a little bit close together, so I might need to just move that a little bit, but they're doing really well, as are all of the beetroot that I put in. The kale is looking amazing. My only downside is that it currently has quite a lot of whitefly on it, but I think next year I'm going to try planting some nasturtiums underneath and see if that helps to at least get rid of some of the whitefly, if not all of them. I have got to say, that is not a bad beetroot at all. It's one of the few that I planted on its own. All the rest of them have been multi-sown. But I'm going to pull it because it looks great and I just want to see what it looks like. Oh, look at that, isn't it cool? So excited. Might even have that for tea tonight. Hopefully some of you will remember that I planted in this bed behind me here some winter salads, which I'm hoping to keep going over the whole of the season. It is starting to get a bit cooler, so what I'm going to do is cover it with some plastic just to keep the ground warm. All of those plants have started to germinate, but they are still really, really tiny, which means that they are also perfect fodder for birds. And obviously, as it gets towards the end of the season, there's less for them to eat. So it's something that they're definitely going to want to have a munch on. So I'm going to get them covered today. I've also put in that bed some spring onions that I grew from seed at home, some red toga and some white Lisbon. They won't grow massive, they're not going to be like huge spring onions, but they'll keep me in onions over the next sort of like couple of months, and hopefully they'll do okay underneath this plastic cloche that I'm about to build. So let's see how it goes. Hi everybody, so it is the next day because I unfortunately ran out of light at the allotment, so I couldn't keep filming. So I just figured I'd just come on quickly and let you know what I'm planning to do next really. Because I have finished that last bed that I wanted to put a cloche over, I think my next thing is really going to have to be that I need to start on clearing the other side of the allotment. Even this late in the season, I've still got loads of weeds growing out of that piece of old tarpaulin. There's loads of rubbish over there that needs to be cleared. So over the next couple of weeks, what I'm aiming to do is just to really remove all the rubbish, pull back the tarp and start adding some organic matter to that side of the allotment space. So there is a set of stables nearby that have very kindly offered to give me some free manure. Now it's way too fresh to plant in at all, it's too fresh to plant in, but it'll be fine for over winter. And I'm gonna just try and wait, I guess, up to sort of the 6-month mark before I start putting anything on that side of the allotment. But I've got loads of cardboard as well, so I'm going to cover it in cardboard. I'm going to pop some manure on top and probably just anything else I can find, to be honest. It is quite bumpy on that side, so it's not very even, so I'm probably going to have to do a bit of digging to sort of level everything out, but that's what I'm definitely going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. So I will show you my progress with that, and also a couple of other things. Mostly just still some harvesting to do, a bit more picking to be done, and I will next time give you a quick tour of the little allotment by the park as well, just so you can see where that's up to. So I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. Please do like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.